Welcome back to the Europe Netball Open Challenge 2022. What a day it's been so far. We've already had 5 games in this tournament, and if you've missed it, where have you been? Welcome to the game coming up. However, we are seeing UAE take on Israel. UAE and Israel are both in Group B in this competition. In case you've missed the previous games, there are 8 competing nations this 4 days, trying to all get the gold medal for the Europe Netball Open Challenge competition. Cayman Islands, Gibraltar hosts the Isle of Man, Israel, Malta, Republic of Ireland, Switzerland and the UAE. We've seen all nations take to court so far. UAE have won their first game, Israel lost their first game, so both will be fighting for this one. In their pool, Republic of Ireland have won twice. They are yet to play the UAE, and Malta have lost both of their games. So it's really close and can be anyone's. Once we've had these games today and the games tomorrow, we then go into playoffs. And then on Sunday, we'll have the all-important placing matches. So it really is just fun-filled netball all the way. And we're on game 6, but it still feels like game 1. So wherever you are, make sure you stay with us. We'll be back very shortly with our starting 7 lineup. Lots more netball to go. Welcome back. We are live here in the Isle of Man, the National Sports Centre in Douglas, for the final game of today, set to see the UAE take on Israel. I am Natalie Pepperell and I'm joined in comms by Bailey Mitchell. Bailey coached the men's game last night, which we saw if you were tuned in to the Isle of Man Facebook page. Also plays in the squad, but currently recovering from an ACL injury.
I am.
How was last night? Good?
Really exciting, really nice to see netball from a different perspective.
So Bailey's been working all day but has kindly come down for this game to help commentate and managed to catch the Isle of Man game earlier. Very exciting, wasn't it?
Really exciting.
So without further ado, we will bring you the starting lineups for this game. For the UAE, starting in that goal shooter position, Gemma Ely. Goal attack, Kate Lewis. Wing attack, Jenna Guy. Centre, Carly Lewis. Wing defence, Becky Quigley. Goal defence, Jessica Cronin. And goalkeeper, Isabel Athley. The coach for the UAE is Deb Jones. For Israel, goal shooter, Haya Komar. Goal attack, Nikki Rossonis. Wing attack, Talia Wertenthal. Centre, Karen Gordon. Wing defence, Sil Kupchik. Goal defence, Rahela First. Goalkeeper, Dom Changfoot. And we have Shan Berman as the coach for Israel. The umpires for today are Sarah Drake, Gillian Leslie, and the reserve umpire is Sonia Thomas. So we already said we've seen from these teams, Bailey, the UAE convincing win over Malta, 70 goals to 34, and Israel losing heavily to Republic of Ireland, 86-15. What do you think we'll see from this one today?
I'm hoping that Israel will come back from their loss this morning and go out with a drive this afternoon, or this evening, sorry.
It'll be interesting as well to see the game plan from UAE, considering they have tomorrow's game too. An early offensive contact call there against Gemma Ely. Not the way UAE would have wanted to start, but pleasing for Israel.
Yeah.
Nice third option for Israel there. Pressure early on from the UAE. You can see them positioning to keep them all on one side. Offside. I thought she did footwork then, but she was like, can't do that. Lovely feed from Guy to Lewis. We saw Kate Lewis play goal attack and wing attack today. Just a fumble there for Israel. Wertenthal on the ball, finds Gordon. It's a long shot. If you can hear us over that, great shot by Haya Komar. Another offensive call. There's definitely some Israel supporters in this crowd tonight.
Interception from defence.
I'm not sure what that was for. Good options from Israel at the moment. Yeah. Oh, it was footwork. Oh, lovely shot by Nikki Rossonis. Israel turn the centre pass to UAE, currently leading the game. Oh, taken.
Oh no.
Lovely drive. Really nice connection between Lewis and Lewis. Carly Lewis, very good at her fakes with centre. Good strength by Ely. Patient play by Israel here. Just fell short, but Komar gets the rebound. chance for UAE to put another one on the board. Nice 1-2 between Lewis and Lewis. Israel need to make sure they don't allow them to get into their stride. I think I might have just jinxed them. Strong challenge by Becky Quigley. Oh, unlucky there by Lewis, just couldn't quite keep control. Strong on the goal line by Nikki Rossonis. Lovely shot. Hooters for Israel. The Swiss have the cowbells. The Isle of Man have the primary school children.
One of the parents of the Isle of Man has a pan and it around his back.
Nice, a pan and around his back. Oh my goodness me. Oh, look at the smile as well, lovely shot.
Really nice to see the support as well from the t-shirts.
Gemma Ely down the other side doing exactly the same.
It's another unfortunate break-in.
Oh, good pressure at the back by Changfoot. Nearly again. Body on the line by First. Kate Lewis makes it count. Certainly not the runaway game that UAE will have wanted. Great pressure early on by Israel. No goal. Nice change of direction into the backspace. Nothing on in front. Manages to find Gordon. Nice short play. The arms in from UAE causes a turnover. Whoa, well held. Dancing with the sideline. Good option by Carly Lewis to find Kate Lewis. Beautiful shooting from Kate Lewis in this game. Oh, fantastic quick hands by Gordon. Rossonis just needs to settle herself, lift this shot. Crowd are pleased. Oh! Yeah, they just needed to steady that, didn't they? Guy lifting it to Lewis. Smiles from Lewis. Changfoot with the pass. Nice middle. Israel play in the middle of the court really nicely. It gives them lots of options to offload to either side. Komar out. Just caught offside there quickly. Fantastic, isn't it? 7-6. I wouldn't have called this scoreline at the start.
No.
And again, Komar.
Oh, lucky.
Good hustle from the back. Good pressure by Cronin. But Usonis Lewis in the middle. Lovely entry through that circle. And again, UAE finds circle edge, but out of court there by Kate Lewis. That's what you want, isn't it? If you've lost the ball, that's how you get it back.
Yeah.
Just starting to tick it over again now, UAE. Oh, Komar. Frustrating for the UAE, and very calm, quiet bench for the UAE, which is surprising. It just goes to show the pressure that Israel are putting on them. All right, finds Lewis. Not happy with what's on in front, opts for the reset. Just pausing.
Shoelace.
Yeah. Don't want anyone tripping over. Moving off too soon there. Oh no, it goes out. 3.5 minutes left of this game. UAE lead 10-7. This next 3 minutes probably quite crucial for Israel to try and stop this run.
Yeah, look to put the pressure on now.
Just like that. Hey, listen to you. Oh, caution given there against Kate Lewis. It's quite early on in the game to be receiving one of those. Lovely shot. Just need to be really clinical, Changfoot and first, to not allow UAE to get any second attempts. Komar again. Oh my goodness. This team can shoot every single one shot. It's amazing, isn't it? Oh, painful for Ely. This is a chance for Israel. This is what Shan Berneman was alluding to when she said they can do better. This is much better. Lovely. Goodness. Wowza! The game that we didn't necessarily pip to be the goal-for-goal game is a goal-for-goal game. Israel on the centre pass. Oh no. The confusion over the centre pass, almost encouraging Rosinis to break then. Obstruction call against Kupchak. Lewis finding Ely. Wowza. She'll shoot from there.
Nothing just after it.
Oh, lovely centralisation of the ball. Oh, one hand. Lewis well aware of the score and the time. 5 seconds left. This is 1 second. She's going to have to shoot it. Oh, painfully short. 11 goals to 10. I did not see this coming.
No, not what I expected at all.
It's amazing. So with your coach's hat on, what is it that Israel are doing so well to keep the score?
I think they're quite calm. You can see they're quite really calm through the court. They're looking for different options and always driving forward so much onto balls and not relying on looking backwards for balls down into the pockets.
Which is absolutely key because UAE are so much taller, aren't they?
Yeah.
Wowza, and the defence as well, the defence for Israel causing UAE some problems as well. So if you were the coach of UAE now, this is now a goal-for-goal game, do you mix it up, do you change, do you keep the players the same? No pressure?
I'm not sure. I've always thought to stick. I've always gone for a stick mode for myself and then reassess at half-time if needs be.
I mean, it's not they're not losing, are they?
No, exactly, and their coach has faith in them for a reason.
They also have a big game tomorrow as well. We see the UAE taking on the Republic of Ireland, and we just saw the Republic of Ireland play, and man, that's going to be a game to watch.
Yeah.
But not necessarily for first and second place if Israel cause an upset today in this game.
Yeah. I'm excited to see how the rest of the game will play out after the first quarter.
What do Israel need to do in the next quarter coming up? Sorry, I'm putting you under all sorts of pressure now. Just volunteered to do commentary and got thrown in at the deep end.
I think just keep applying the pressure. The shooters are moving really well around the circle, and it's causing an upset for UAE.
Absolutely, keeping their composure. I think you're spot on with that, playing it short. It's really hard to get to a ball if they're playing it short and they're trying to push it long. Fantastic shooting as well from Komar. We saw in the first game that Israel played, they brought on, let me find that name, they brought on, I can't find it, Shayna Bloom, and she absolutely smashed the goals in, and who knew that they had two secret shooters that just don't miss. Haya Komar as well, just slotting the goals in. Amazing game. As we said before when we spoke to Shan Berman, the coach for Israel, she was a bit disappointed in their game this morning. She must be much more pleased. Do you think maybe they've just had time to warm up?
I think so. It's very nervous, I think, when they're in the first game to settle, especially at such a big event.
And the crowd's pretty big for this game.
Yeah.
Lots of noise from the crowd, lots of support for Israel. We hear the hooters going. There are the UAE fans in as well. They put their flags up, cheering their team on. So pressure and support for both sides. I think there will be some changes, and I think I can see some changes for UAE side, and I'm not surprised. Deb Jones won't leave this to chance. A great coach in her own right, but she expects her team to step up when she needs them to. Kelly Loy, I think, is coming on into that goalkeeper position for the UAE. Oh, lots of changes. Different goal shooter as well. Gemma Ely, has moved to goal attack. You're absolutely spot on.
I think that was a footwork call again for UAE.
Charlie Preston has come on into that goal shooter position. We talked about her in the first game. Absolutely outstanding on her holds. And they've also brought Emily Fenson on to wing attack.
Well held there.
Beautiful shot. That's what we saw from Charlie Preston early on.
Will we see another long shot?
Any shot for Komar, short, long, she's got it covered. Fenson to Lewis. Preston, calm and composed. Lovely back up. Oh, passed it to her feet. And again, really clear from Preston where she wants that ball. She's going to cause problems for Chang Foot and first at the back. Need to angle towards the ball more on the drives, don't they? Good take by Quigley. Well weighted there by Lewis, just waited for Ely to be in a nice position. Shooter to shooter ball. A lot more clinical play here from UAE. Contact call all the way off the ball. That's quite hard as an umpire to see, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, Lloyd's not impressed with that. Omar, however, doesn't mind. Nice 1-2 between Fenton and Lewis. Off the ball work by Preston, creating that space, constantly repositioning. A real headache for the defence for Israel. Break in there against Becky Quigley. Well picked up by UAE. Loy. Oh, nice connection there. I think she thought she was going to run.
Unlucky. Just can't quite get their hands on it.
Oh, read all day long there by Kelly Lloyd. Just intercepted that ball to Wersenthal. Lewis lifts it to Ely. And again, Charlie Preston on that hold. One that lots of teams that will be coming up against the UAE will be analysing. Good decision by Ely. Could have forced the ball in, chose to go back. Well picked up by Wertenthal. Komar. Cheeky little offload. Great shot by Rosonis. Still only 5 in this game, despite the shooting prowess of Preston at the back. Rosonis to Wertenthal. Can't see anything forward, opts to go back. Komar. Oh, Lewis with the steal. From the steal, manages to make it all the way down the other end of the court. Good rebound by Changfoot.
Just need to be that little bit higher if they're going to go over, don't they?
Absolutely, they're really tall, the UAE, and they can jump as well.
Yeah. It's a really good draw there from goal attack.
Shot again by Preston. I feel like I should put that on record so I can just press play. Lovely 1-2 between Gordon and Rossinis. Oh. Ooh. She didn't expect that one, but well picked up by Fensom. Yeah, really cheeky fake. Open up the backspace, pop it over, textbook. At least Changfoot can smile about it. UAE have now put their foot on that accelerator. 23-13 from a 2-goal game to a 10-goal game, all in the space of 8 minutes. UAE centre pass. Fensom. Great offer, straight over the line. Oh. They play the circle well. Ely and Preston, don't they? One front, one back.
Really good defensive pressure from UAE there. It's really look at struggling to get their centre pass.
Discipline needed, no second chances. Komar's on the ball. Lovely swing, and timing of movement and placement on that was beautiful. Time is called. We are going to see a change. Kupchak is coming off. And Wertenthal is coming off as well. Hopefully we will get the names of the replacements for you very shortly. And are you surprised by that, or is a change needed when the scoreline's starting to run out?
I'm surprised that they've changed it.
No flow disrupted, however, for Ely.
The attack is doing really well to get out on every centre pass. Really.
Lieberman is the wing attack for Israel.
Really nice interception there from the goalkeeper.
Eitan comes on at wing defence. Sorry, that took me so long. Huge quarter here for the UAE. How do you beat that?
It's difficult.
Nice by Gordon. Centre offside, small errors. They don't want to creep into the game too much, Israel, when they've worked so hard already. Pick up at the back by Changfoot. Good by Lieberman. Playing towards the ball, nice 1-2. Oh, just short for Rusilis. Oh, just too good. The hold, the feed, the timing. Again, Ely pulling that defence off by running the front, opening the back. Rosanis used quite a lot as goal attack for the first phase of the centre pass for Israel. Oh, unlucky by Lloyd. Footwork means it's a pass. Omar didn't know what to do with it. Thought, I'll shoot it, shall I? Put it through the net? Why not? Israel with another attempt to bring the ball through. Nice pop forwards. How did Lewis end up with that? I think maybe a little bit ambitious to put it over Cronin to Komar. Good by Changfoot to force a longer shot, but Preston's still quite accurate.
sure in there.
Me neither. I was looking for the changes, and there wasn't any. Charlie Preston.
She's so good at holding that front space.
Good hustle for the rebound, but well done UAE. Just over 30 seconds left of this half. From a 1-goal game to a 20-goal game. Good fight for the rebound by Rosonis.
Just see a quick goal here. Oh, lovely pass into the circle.
Lewis is like, still a 20-goal game. Oh, she delayed the centre, thinking it was hers. Probably done Israel a favour. Oh no!
I wouldn't have passed it.
Yeah, just experience there potentially for Karen Gordon. If she'd have held that, they would have got the next centre pass, but unfortunately she didn't. She's passed it off. It is 36 goals to 16, so Israel being kept to 6 goals that quarter. UAE 25. Wowza. It's like a tale of two halves in that first half. What was the change?
UAE really changed their structure, didn't they? Having the goal shooter come on just opened up the circle massively. They work really well together.
Absolutely, and no answers really from the back for Israel. Really hard for them to work that out.
Really hard to defend a shooter that can hold you for its well.
Fenson again coming on at wing attack. Feeds in were impeccable, weren't they, between Fenson and Lewis?
Yeah, brilliant.
Loy coming on as well in that goalkeeper position. Just a little bit more experience maybe at the back against Komar and Rosonis. Put a lot of pressure on.
Yeah. They still did well though to get their shots.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know what, we potentially expected the scoreline to be, you know, like this from the start, maybe bigger, so Israel will be pleased with that first quarter, but having shown that they can compete goal for goal, I think they'll probably be a little bit disappointed with the second quarter. Not that they didn't play well, but just, you know, once you've set the bar, you've set the standard that you can hit.
Yeah, you've got to keep it.
So it'll be interesting now to see what the coaches input to the teams, whether there's any changes. Would you change it now for Israel? They've changed their wing attack and wing defence in that quarter. Is there any other changes that you might potentially make?
I don't think they are they?
It's difficult because there's no real height there, is there, to match
No.
the hold of Preston, so they're probably going to have to play tactically against that rather than height for height. So maybe try and stop them from hitting circle edge as much to make the feed a bit more tricky. Would you potentially double up on Preston?
You could, but then you risk them just going into Ely all the time.
Yeah, and Ely can shoot as well,
right,
can't
yeah,
she?
exactly.
A headache, no doubt. Maybe making it look open, trying to encourage that flat pass in so that Changfoot or First can run on it.
Yeah.
Lots of, it's almost like chess. The coaches are going to have to play a good chess game here. The UAE as well have to balance up the fact they have a really tough game tomorrow. They're playing Republic of Ireland at 1 o'clock. If the scores stay as they are, that will be to see who finishes first in Group B, which is key because whoever finishes first in Group B will be playing whoever finishes second in Group A. That match would take place on Saturday at 3 o'clock. Whoever comes... Second in Group B, bear with, so the group that are playing now, playing first would take place at 3 o'clock. First in Group B would play whoever becomes second in Group A at 1 o'clock. And then obviously the winner of those, if you win those matches, you go through to the gold and silver medal match, which is where everyone wants to be, isn't it?
Everybody wants to be in it.
All the coaches that we've spoken to and said, oh, you know, what's your aims? Are you aiming to come out and win games? Have all responded with, of course, no coach would stand up there and say they haven't come to win. We all come to win. Obviously, different teams will have different goals as well on top of that, because there are some mismatches, there's some close games, there are some mismatches, and I think if you're going into a mismatch, then your first goal potentially is to come out with the win, but actually there'll be process goals throughout, won't there, like centre pass to goal, shot percentage.
Yeah, definitely.
On your screen now as well, you'll see you can scan that. That gives you the Europe Netball programme. They've gone all posh here in the Isle of Man. The production team have created this fantastic interactive programme, so actually the scores get updated as the games go on. How cool is that? So if you haven't got it, download it, and then if you miss a game, you'll be fine. And also in the programme is all the links that you need for every single game. What more could you need? 8 minutes in half time in these competitions gives the team lots of time for some input. Most of them on their feet, a couple of the UAE players having a seat, but considering they've already played one match already, lots of energy still left. You can see in your screen as well the table officials. For some of those table officials, this is the 6th game that they've done back to back. Absolute legends of the sport. Don't forget as well, you can get in touch with us, hashtag Europe Netball, nearly said it the wrong way, Europe Netball on Twitter. Tell us your thoughts, tell us what you think. We'd love to hear from you. Any questions as well, ping them our way. Tyler Sue we have coming in commentary on Saturday and Sunday. Amazing start from Israel against the UAE. Always hard to have 2 games in the same day, especially after their result from this morning. Interested to see how this one turns out. Glad to see that you're watching it, Tyler Sue. Looking forward to you coming over as well. Dalton Redmond cheering on Netball Island. I'm not really sure what its hashtag is. Come on you and then GIG. Not sure. You might have to explain that one for me, Dalton. I'm not down with the kids. I'm getting old. Watch it, it'll be like 60 now. That's not old, by the way, just so we're clear. Big shout out as well to Linda Dyer here. It's her birthday. I'm not sure where she is, but doing a great job putting on this competition and on her birthday. 25 today. Well done, Linda. I think I'm going a bit delirious. Deb Jones very animated on the left with her feedback. So passionate as a coach. An ex-player herself, played for England. Coaching now out in UAE, teaching in UAE as well, I do believe. Fabulous player. I almost think as well out some of the coaches, we could have like a vets team enter, you know?
Definitely.
That'd be fantastic. Looking at them coming out, Loy still on at goalkeeper. Kate Lewis returns to the game as wing attack. Wowza, can you still hear?
Just about. Oh, gone again.
I spoke too soon. Shayna Bloom coming on at goal shooter for Israel. Tali Kerr going to goal attack. Lieberman to wing defence. And Wertenthal to wing attack. Wertenthal, sorry. Healy on the shot, sinks it. Wertenthal back in that wing attack position.
Really nice interception there from wing defence.
Absolutely, and it's the new wing defence as well. It's Megan Polly. So good spot there. Sophie Sifra on at goal defence for UAE. We said about Kate Lewis going to wing attack, and Emily Fenson gets the centre position, which allows Carly Lewis, for the first time I do believe, to have a rest. That doesn't happen very often. Nothing on in front. Wertenthal needs to make sure she turns the whole way around so she can sight everything in front of her. Good width there by Wertenthal. Lieberman finds Gordon. There she goes. Oh, just short this time.
That was another hot chance in. Oh, lovely.
Starts how she finished the last game, Bloom. Love it. You're probably not supposed to have favourites, but she's definitely a commentator's favourite. Just amazing. Kate Lewis. Good reintroduction to the game for her. Lovely feed. Oh, just unfortunate there. Oh, great tip. Yeah, well done first. She chased it down. Oh, just unlucky there. But good by Kate Lewis to get hands onto that ball. Oh, nice hands again by first. Just staying on her toes, moving around, putting all sorts of pressure on. Good by Ely. Oh, it just rolls around the edge. Both players going for everything, but comes out on Israel sideline. Changfoot on the ball. Yeah, I thought she hurt her foot in that. Rahela first, coming off. Just took a bit of a knock there. I think it's Aitan that comes on. Oh, strong pass through the court. Nice ball over. Just can't connect at the end. Lovely calm ball in. Lewis and Preston. And you know it's going to be a goal after it's landed with Preston.
Flows down the court so nicely. Make it look easy.
And it's not that easy, is it? See the work off the ball that they do to make sure that they're free. Good hustle by Aitan, but Preston comes out with it. Nice middle ball. Oh, it just rolls off the back for Bloom. Still smiling though. And here's that flow that you were talking about. Just poetry in motion through the court. Lovely shot.
She just doesn't miss, does she?
No, we do need to have that on repeat. Lovely shot, Preston. Preston, lovely shot. And another one from Preston. Nice by Bloom. Oh, beautiful. Kerr gives herself a clap, and rightly so. Long ball down to Fensom. Oh, just too much on it for Ely that time. Gordon's doing a good job in that centre position. She's had to do a lot of court sprints through the last few games. Oh, great turnover. An offside before the turnover, but let's not take that away from Polly. Some great athleticism shown by the UAE team. Nice middle. Just some really good structure, isn't there, in their play? The screen's on. Contact against Changfoot, gives Ely the goal. UAE went for the 3 over, a bit too keen. Calls an offside, nice play. Kerr on the shot, got to shoot over Loy, and she does. That's no easy feat in itself either, is it? Loy towers above her in height. Oh, nice ball. That was a great pass. Another offside. Ooh, there was some power on that pass. Unlucky there for UAE. Oh, but she comes out with a rebound this time. Oh, beautiful hands. Great shot. Israel centre pass. They're still working the short well, and the lifted's just not going to go over, is it? Fensom really tall in the defence. Oh, beautiful pass. There are some absolutely clinical passages of play here for the UAE. And they'll be pleased at the reintroduction, won't they, of Kate Lewis? I know she started in that goal attack position, but to reintroduce some players and to take off such a strong player such as Carly Lewis at centre, their captain, and to still pull out such clinical performance. Did we have that recording? A beautiful shot by Charlie Preston. Genuinely going to make it tomorrow. Great pressure by the UAE, causing 3 seconds. Lewis connecting with Ely. And again, lovely placement of the ball. Another tough quarter for Israel so far. Only managed to get 3 goals on the board. And the UAE have really found their flow. Do Israel have an answer for this right now? Still working hard. Great ball. Roy manages to keep hold of it. It's just the athleticism, isn't it, of UAE as well? Like, they're turning on the ball.
Yeah.
We often talk about the impact that coaches can make during a game, but actually a lot of what we're seeing has been done way before they even got to the court.
Yeah. Those unfortunate arms there before she got a distance.
Hold on, did Charlie Preston just miss? She missed one.
Never.
I'm not sure it counted because I think it was obstruction, but still. My goodness me. She is human. Nice space by Gordon. Oh, threaded.
Great vision. Oh, just unfortunate.
We're urging that ball through the net. Timing and turn great by Lewis, and lovely hold. Just absolutely textbook. First phase, second phase, third phase. Oh! I've jinxed her. That's 2. Gone a bit quieter from the crowd for Israel, but still some cheers for that one. Yeah, just the angle that she's running on. Wertenthal's just a bit flat. She needs to angle towards the line of the board. Especially when you've got the mismatch in height between her and Polly. Just under 2 minutes left, 57-19 on the score. Considering the start from the UAE, they'll be pleased with the scoreline now. Gordon, Wertenthal, Gordon, yes, ready to bloom. Oh, she'll get another shot. Oh, unlucky by Bloom.
Just needs a bit more lift on it, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Just falls short, doesn't it? And there's nothing wrong with a short shooter, but that's the problem, isn't it? That actually, if you miss and you're giving, a good foot, maybe a foot and a half away to your opposition, the rebounds are going to come few.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that one was in. Nice, strong from Sophie. Normal service resumed by Preston. Looking to get 60 up on the scoreboard, UAE. And they do. 20 seconds for Israel to get their 20 up. Oh, well read, but falls back in the hands of Israel. Lovely little pop. Yeah, just stepping in, Loy, on that. Absolutely right, umpire. Oh, and it's the 20 up. Pleasing for Bloom, 60 goals to 20, so another huge score for the UAE, scoring 24, much more consistent for them in the second and third quarter. 4 scored for Israel in that one. Any thoughts on that?
I think Israel have just been quite unlucky because they've still managed to get the ball into the circle quite a lot. It's just the unfortunate side of having really tall defenders against you.
And it's really hard, isn't it, when you know you're up against the attacking prowess and the physical presence, really, of UAE, that when they do turn the ball over, UAE to goal is really quick.
Yeah, really quick. They've got to react very quick to their play down the court.
But they're not
hard to do.
Yeah, and like you say, they're not making it easy. It's definitely not straightforward for the UAE. They are causing them a few problems, but I think they'll be a lot happier that they're almost in their stride now and have brought some players back on that they took off after it went a little bit pear-shaped for them in quarter one. Be interesting to see if they make any more changes now. As we said, they've got a big game tomorrow then UAE. Republic of Ireland have won both of their games so far today, beating Israel 86-15, and then just before this game we saw them on court win against Malta 58-21, so currently sat at the top of their group. Tomorrow, if UAE continue to win this game, which, let's face it, at 60 goals to 20, there's no chance Israel are going to get 40 goals and UAE not score. So it looks like it will be a playoff between UAE and the Republic of Ireland at 1 o'clock tomorrow for the top of Group B. Equally, Malta and Israel will be playing off for third and fourth place in Group B, and that's key as well because third place in Group B plays fourth place in Group A, so you want to do all you can, don't you, to have the easier match. So both teams potentially looking at whether they can maybe rest some legs, or maybe not. Maybe they'll throw everything they've got at the last quarter. As a coach, would you want to finish really strong, or would you want to rest and take your foot off the gas a little bit in preparation for the next day? Which one would you choose?
Always finish strong. Always finish strong.
Nice, you heard it here first. Bailey Mitchell says, put on your best ones.
Looks like Israel have made some changes.
Again, we talk about this competition being absolutely key for some of these teams as well to actually get the exposure. I mean, it's really easy to say sometimes from different nations that that have access to Super League or SSN or ANZ, but actually the top level for some of these teams is quite difficult to come by. And so these competitions are the place where you want to expose the different players so they get that experience. Still, feedback absolutely paramount. Israel never give up.
No.
And knowing the coaches for the UAE as well, they will not take any second-rate performances from their squad either. So potential changes for both. We will, of course, bring you up to date with those as soon as we have them. Don't forget, throughout these 4 days, you can get in touch. Hashtag Europe Netball. We would absolutely love to hear from you. We're right on the changes. Komar comes back onto that goal shooter position. Nikki Rassonis comes back onto goal attack. Aviva comes on to wing defence. That's the first time we've seen her this game. And Talia Kerr comes onto goal defence. Changes for the UAE, just one change for them. Jenna Guy coming back on in that goal attack position. We saw her in the first quarter, then she went to the bench and now she's back on to stamp her mark on this game. Oh, lovely shot.
Really nice ball into the circle as well.
Benson finds Guy. Beautiful feed by Guy to Preston. Guy seems very much a playmaker role at goal attack, so used to create, not necessarily taking on as much as the shooting, but actually if look at her and Preston together, it doesn't really make too much difference, does it? But having a game player to create that space is absolutely key, so lots of different options for the UAE. Rasonis, just short. Beautiful timing, good clear by Fenson, allows Lewis to come through. Beautiful. Holds one angle, not on, changes to the other, ball in. Job done. Lovely feed from Guy. Could have given the first ball contested, didn't, sent the second ball into the space. Omar. Oh, beautiful feed. Oh, well reached, Guy. Oh my goodness me. Guy doesn't agree with that. Good hustle by Fenson. Aviva on the ball. Oh, was to her feet. Lovely change of angle. Nice. Popped it back. Have it again. Oh, nearly intercepted, but great play by Komar. Offside by Guy. Gordon opts to go back. Oh, just placement there. Put that in between Lewis and Kerr. Well, Sinis is getting quite a bit of space, isn't she, in that circle? Both players out. Good shot. Lovely draw. Run round the front by Guy. Opens up Preston at the back. Nice timing by Komar, good clear. Obstruction called against Loy. Rasonis with the penalty. Yeah, contact against Komar. Oh, great take. Good rebound by Guy, she'll put it up. Oh, well held. Beautiful.
Great interception.
And it is that experience on some of those, isn't it, to see that runner let them go past and then play it back into the space.
Yeah.
Henson thought it wasn't her ball, but it is. Obstruction called against Aviva, but great pressure.
Another great hold there by Preston.
So you need to put it on record as well. So close. Well done. Great defensive pressure. And they're just getting drawn into some of those lifted balls, which we said at the beginning were tricky. You complimented them, Bailey, about the playing the short game. Ooh. Pirouette and a split. She was pleased that ball got there, not the best of placements, but with the height of Preston. Just arms everywhere by the UAE, doing this four-man zone in the middle really well. I do wonder whether these long balls are going to work for them tomorrow.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they play tomorrow.
The height difference won't necessarily be as obvious tomorrow with the Republic of Ireland defence in that D. They'll have to mix that up. Just a disconnect there for Israel. 6.5 minutes left. 73-23, there's 50 goals in this, which we wouldn't have thought at the beginning after the first quarter, 11-10.
Not when it was 1-for-1.
Just shows how far the UAE have come in their development. And as Shan Berman said earlier, it's been 3 years since Israel managed to play on the international stage because of various reasons, and COVID has really caused them some issues, even struggling to get any training in before this competition. Roy gets the call. I think Rossinis is struggling a little bit with the legs now. I'm not surprised. 2 games in one day for Israel. And 2 hard games at that. Lovely shot again. I wonder whether the UAE will be chasing the scoreline that the Republic of Ireland had in terms of goals scored. The Republic of Ireland got 86 against Israel. Great shot by Komar. Beautiful fast hands.
In the air as well. Oh, unlucky.
Lovely vision. Again, another period of play of UAE just putting their foot on the gas. Oh, no.
No goal.
Attacking contact. Oh, guys, so close.
You're lucky there.
big cheer for Kerr.
Wow.
Oh, good hustle by Gordon. Who's going to pick up the ball? Shankfoot says I am. Good swing to the centre. Gordon. Oh, just a little bit too late on that feed in. It needed to go first time. Just like that. Oh, well read. Unlucky, it was a good middle.
It's a nice feed into the circle there.
Oh, those are the ones you want them to land for them, don't you? All that hard work. Good decision not to send that in straight away. Allow Guy to draw the front defender off. That's what they need, ready for the game tomorrow. 80 up for the UAE. 2.5 minutes left of this game. Can they get to 86? Is that a scoreline that they're aware of? Fensham certainly seems to be wanting them to hurry that centre pass, so one would think there's a reason why. Well held by Komar, nice fast hands. Rossini's in front. Don't pass it over Kelly Lloyd, she's a giant. Oh my goodness me. Unfortunate, but nice to see them trying things like that.
Yeah. What an interception from Guy.
She's smiling about it though. I think she might be having a little bit of fun.
Just tell them to settle now.
Okay, that's two now, I'll calm down. Great shot. Again, Charlie Preston really has brought some great quality to this game and to the game before. Unlucky there for Israel. 83-24, just over a minute left. Can Israel get the 25 up? They've surpassed the score line that they had last time that they played UAE in terms of goals scored, Israel. But have had more scored against them. Lovely triangle, Rossini.
She's got such a great reach. Goalkeeper.
.30 seconds left. Unfortunate there for Aviva, just offside, but well read. Lovely front hold by Preston. 84, 10 seconds. Time
Straight to goal.
85. 85 goals, close 24, so consistently keeping the Israel team to 4 in that quarter. And another massive 25 for UAE. So that really was a game of one quarter and then the other three quarters, wasn't it?
Yeah. It looks promising though for Israel.
And looking forward to tomorrow's game, I mean, what do you expect to see now?
I think tomorrow's game, the UAE versus the Republic of Ireland, will be interesting. It'll be very intense and very close, I think. Both teams will be resting very well tonight, I think.
Absolutely. I mean, if you took it purely off scores, you still wouldn't be able to call it, because the UAE-Malta score was better for the UAE in terms of number of goals scored, but Republic of Ireland versus Israel was slightly better in number of goals scored for Republic of Ireland, but then Israel scored less against the Republic of Ireland, but Malta scored less against the Republic of Ireland as well. You just don't know which way it's going to go. And then Malta against Israel as well.
That'll be an interesting playoff, the third and fourth in that group.
Absolutely, two fantastic games set up from the results today, in line for tomorrow. I really hope you put the day off work, and if you haven't, I suggest you take your phone or some other form of device, tell your boss Nat Pepperell said so, it's okay, you can watch the games. I mean, you've turned up, right? That's all that matters, isn't it?
Yeah.
Massive thanks to Bailey Mitchell for being in comms with me today. Good luck with your ACL rehab.
Thank you very much.
Back in January next year?
Back in January.
We just had a cheer before we came live because she's managed to run in a straight line.
Yeah.
For those
Only a straight line.
Those that have rehabbed will understand how important that is. Thanks to you guys at home for tuning in. Don't forget, we will have the coaches' interviews, so don't go anywhere. Coaches' interviews coming up next, and we'll speak to you in a minute. So I'm here with Deb Jones, coach for the UAE. Fantastic finish to that game, but a bit of a ropey start for you guys.
Yeah, that was really interesting. That definitely wasn't part of the game plan, but what was really nice for us as a team is to have 5 brand new starts. So all 12 girls have had a start, and it's fascinating looking at the psychology of that. Some players come off the bench really well, some players start really well. So for myself and Luch as coaches, that was really nice to see who those players are. So, you know, that again, like I said, it wasn't part of the game plan. We had a structure that we didn't necessarily follow. I don't think we stepped up to them, and they came out really hard. You know, I'm not taking anything away from them. They made our life really difficult, and I don't think we responded in the way that we could have or that we should have. And, you know, those players, we do expect more of them. And as you saw, you know, I brought them on at various times later on in the game, and they'd had time to reflect and look at what was happening on the court, and then came on and had the impact that we know that they can have.
Absolutely, and how key is it to have brought them back on into the game? Because like you say, we saw a lot of them play in the first game and played really well, and it was almost a bit of a shock in that. So it's important, isn't it, for them to come back on?
Yeah, it is massively for confidence levels. You know, we as coaches believe in them as players, and I think it's really important for them to recognise that they need to believe in themselves as well. They need to know what their skill set is. You know, are they better impact players coming off the bench and having a look and taking stock of what's happening on the court? You know, knowing where they fit within the rotations and within the game plan. And I think, you know, that was really good for them. And you know, there were lots of smiles at the end of the game. Yes, we kept pushing on, and that was really important to us, for them to recognise, you know, where their strengths lie and how they can make an impact. And I felt that it worked. The 3/4 of the game we were in that. The first quarter, maybe not.
And moving on to tomorrow, Republic of Ireland, you've seen them play. I mean, we can't call it in comms. You'd obviously want it to be you, but how much work is going to have to go into running into that game?
Yeah, a lot. And I think, you know, we take a lot away from every single game, and we look at where we feel things are working best, and we've also, you know, got to look at the opposition and what we feel we need to put out against them. But you know, they played really strongly today, and that's given us lots of food for thought. So the girls will go away and sleep on some of the food that we're going to give them, and you know, us as coaches as well will look at what we're going to put out against them, because it's going to be a really tough game, really interesting, and we're really looking forward to it.
And controversially, it could be Gib or the Isle of Man, and I'm not really sure which one you want to play in the next rounds.
Either, because I think, you know, to be championship winners, you should be able to comfortably play all players. So, who knows?
Well, very well done. Rest well, and a good game tomorrow.
Thanks. Yeah, it was great. Really good. Thank you.
Well done. Thanks to Deb. And now I have Shan from Israel. Hi. Shan, you guys came out fighting.
Yeah, we did. They came out. It was great. We learned so much from the first game. It was unbelievable. And I think we really gave them a run for their money. And I let's stop at the end of the first quarter.
But you played, you know, they played it really short. They were really clever in that play, playing it short. And the UAE really struggled, and they had to adapt their game plan to actually combat that.
Yeah, they really, really did. Sorry we couldn't hold that for 4 quarters, but it was phenomenal to see, and it was really great to see how much they had learned and how far they came in just one game. So, yeah, it was great. It was really, really great.
And there were moments throughout the match of really good play. It wasn't, there was lots of times that it was sort of, they held them goal for goal again, and then UAE put their foot down. So the damage was kind of done in runs rather than in just consistent damage.
Right, yeah, they had some really phenomenal plays. And I felt we pushed them up against the wall, and we really forced them to, you know, take action. So we really were a good force to reckon with. I'm sorry about, I always feel that they put in such a tremendous effort and the score just doesn't reflect it at all.
But a lot more goals in this game.
Yeah. Well, that was our main goal, was to score a lot more goals, which they did, which I was really happy. We really, you know, held it, and you could see the smiles on their faces at the end of the first quarter. It was phenomenal, and it really gave them a boost to continue fighting.
Which is key, isn't it? Because tomorrow is a really key game for you guys up against Malta.
Yeah, that's going to be our key. That's going to be a more realistic game for us. Sorry that our 2 difficult ones came out on the first day, but they'll rest and they'll come back fighting tomorrow. And as we've seen, they've learned, and we've adjusted our tactics accordingly. So hopefully tomorrow we'll see some great stuff from them.
Absolutely. Well, we can't wait to see you tomorrow. We think it's going to be a really exciting game. So rest well, and we're all looking forward to it.
Did you see my shooter today?
Yeah, your shooters are just phenomenal. They're all shooting from the edge and scoring.
I've got some phenomenal shooter. My only shooters. My minor problem is they're short. We have a severe problem with that, but they're phenomenal, and they can shoot from super far. So it's great. I can put any of them on, and I know that they'll get it in from anywhere in the circle. So it's really, really phenomenal to see and to be able to play.
Well, that'll be something that Malta will have to try and shut down tomorrow then.
Don't give them any pointers.
Very well done, and rest up well.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Take care. Good night.
So that is the end of the first 6 matches here live at the National Sports Centre in Douglas in the Isle of Man. We are back tomorrow, however, with 6 more amazing games for you to see who comes out on the top in each of their group and who's playing off who for Saturday, and then looking forward to those placing matches. So thanks so much for being with us, and make sure you tune in. First game, 9 o'clock tomorrow. Set your alarms, take your phone to work, make sure you're with us. Good night.